The sun may be shining, but the air is biting at me. Winter is almost here. I wish I could say that the cold didn't bother me. But if that were true, I wouldn't be here now, would I? I only saw this teaser trailer before I sat down in the theater to watch Frozen. Given what was in my brain at the time versus the movie we got, my mind was blown, as were those of the general movie-going public. But not long after, Let It Go started absolutely dominating the airwaves. Through memes and merchandise, the brand became inescapable, and people's tolerance of it quickly melted away. And now, we're about to get a sequel. And I don't mean these. This is a full theatrical release and every expectation that comes with it. So once again, let's prep for the sequel by revisiting the predecessor. This is Frozen. The opening logos are a good start, hitting us with a chanting choir rather than the When You Wish Upon a Star instrumental, followed by what sounds like a classic ensemble piece.
Cut through the heart, cold and clear, strike for love and strike for fear, split the eyes apart, beware the frozen heart.
On my very first viewing, both of those things were responsible for turning apprehension to intrigue. We meet Princess Elsa of Arendelle, who can command ice and snow magic, and her younger sister, Anna.
Slow down!
Elsa, what have you done?
It was an accident.
The king and queen bring them to a tribe of trolls who can help Anna.
Born with the powers or cursed?
Born, and they're getting stronger.
And that's all we get about where Elsa's powers came from. At the time it was very disappointing, but now that we've got a sequel planning to explore those origins, I think I can be a little forgiving.
I recommend we remove all magic, even memories of magic, to be safe. But don't worry, I leave the fun. She will be okay.
But she won't remember I have powers?
It's for the best.
Elsa's parents spend the next 10 years heavily sheltering Elsa until she can control her powers, which is a huge downer for Anna.
We used to be best buddies, and now we're not. I wish you would tell me why. Do you want to build a snowman? It doesn't have to be a snowman. Go away, Anna. Okay, bye.
At this, I am tempted to rant a little bit.
We will limit her contact with people and keep her powers hidden from everyone.
Fear will be your enemy.
But as frustrating as this is, there is also a sense of balance. Despite their misguided tactics, the parents feel genuinely concerned and compassionate in their approach.
The gloves will help. See? Conceal it.
Don't feel it.
Which makes the situation feel even more grim when that approach clearly isn't working.
No, don't touch me. Please. I don't want to hurt you.
Cap it off with the parents dying at sea and the two sisters more walled off than ever. And we're left with an effectively tragic beginning to this tale. 3 years later, Elsa is old enough to be crowned queen, meaning the gates of the castle will be open for the... I almost said it out loud. Anna is ecstatic for the chance to get out and meet new people.
'Cause for the first time in forever, I won't be alone. I can't wait to meet everyone. What if I meet the one?
Okay, I can't be the only one who thinks that duck is making a move. But there's a second part to this song.
For the first time in forever, I'm getting I'm dreaming of the girl you always have to be. Chance to change my
Anna confidently marches herself right into a prince.
Hey!
I'm so sorry. Are you hurt?
Her social skills are about as developed as you would expect.
This is awkward. Not you're awkward, but just because I'm awkward. You're gorgeous. Wait, what?
While I appreciate every Disney princess as a character, Anna is the first one where I thought, this is a person I could see myself hanging out with in real life. After the coronation and an attempted reconnection,
This is so nice. I wish it could be like this all the time.
Me too. But it can't.
Well, why not?
It just can't.
Anna mingles with Hans, leading into the next song.
Life can be so much more with you. Love is an open door.
Can I say something crazy? Will you marry me?
Can I say something even crazier? Yes.
Wow, even for Disney, that escalated fast. And for once, said Disney movie is fully aware of it.
You can't marry a man you just met.
You can if it's true love.
Anna, what do you know about true love?
Well, more than you. All you know is how to shut people out.
Oh, okay, let's hold up, you guys. Take a deep breath in through your nose.
Elsa, no, wait. Give me my glove. Elsa, please. I can't live like this anymore.
Then leave.
Oh, come on, you guys. We were just playfully mocking a Disney trope, and we went really quickly into severe angst territory.
Why do you shut the world out? What are you so afraid of? I said enough!
Elsa runs from the castle, her unchecked powers triggering winter in Arendelle.
Yes, no.
Are you all right?
No,
Did you know?
no.
Anna feels responsible for upsetting Elsa and ventures out after her, leaving Hans in charge.
I don't want you getting hurt.
She's my sister. She would never hurt me.
Up in the mountains, Elsa kicks off the showstopper.
Let it go, can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, turn away and slam the door.
If overexposure to Frozen made any of you out there sick of this song, I understand. But I still love it. Its lyrics connect to the very relatable concept of people learning to accept themselves for who they are.
No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free.
As for the story, it highlights Elsa's catharsis from no longer having to hide her powers by starting with a melancholy tone
A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen.
and peaking in triumph.
I'm never going back. The past is in the past. Let it go, let it go.
The song serves its purposes well, and it gives me chills to listen to it with or without the animation. It's no surprise why it got as popular as it did.
Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway.
Anna deals with setbacks on her way up the mountain and ends up at a sauna, where she bargains with an ice harvester short on cash.
That'll be 40. 40? 10's all I got.
Take me up the North Mountain.
They're chased by wolves, during which Anna's judgment is rightfully questioned.
Who marries the man she just met?
It's true love!
Whoa!
Christopher!
It's Krista!
His name wasn't spoken in the movie till now, so Anna shouldn't have been able to guess even closely to what it is. I know, not a big detail, could have been an off-screen introduction, but still. The sled goes off the cliff.
I'll replace your sled and everything in it. And I understand if you don't want to help me anymore.
And after some convincing from his reindeer, Sven,
This whole thing has ruined me for helping anyone ever again. She'll die on her own. I can live with that.
Here we go.
But you won't get your new sled if she's dead.
I think actually it's up.
Sometimes I really don't like you.
I love this dynamic. The group continues on foot, coming across a byproduct of Elsa's magic, a snowman exactly like the one she and Anna built as kids.
That's right. Olaf.
And you are...
Before seeing this movie, Olaf being too la-di-da was a big concern in my mind. The target audience is children, after all. But he does get some great lines.
Oh, look at that. I've been impaled.
And his blissful ignorance leads to this hilarious contradiction of a song.
Winter's a good time to stay in and cuddle, but put me in summer and I'll be a happy snowman.
Admit it, when you first watched this movie, you were either this Kristoff,
I'm gonna tell him.
Don't you dare.
or this one.
Somebody's gotta tell him.
They reach the castle, and things are calm at first.
You look different. It's a good different. And this place, it's amazing. Thank you.
I never knew what I was capable of.
But Elsa is still wary of the danger she poses.
I belong here. Alone. Where I can be who I am without hurting anybody.
And Anna alerting Elsa to the eternal winter makes the whole thing worse.
Everywhere. Well, it's okay, you can just unfreeze it. No, I can't. I don't know how. Sure you can. I know you can.
Anna, I love you, but this isn't Care Bears. You can't just clench real hard with determination and make something happen. You need a plan. Though to be fair, I'd love to see a version where Elsa cooperates, followed by them fixing everything and mending their sisterly bond in the process. But I will admit, there is more immediate excitement and dramatic consequence to what actually happens.
I'm not leaving without you, Elsa.
Yes, you are.
After being chased away by Marshmallow, yes, that's his name, they realize something is up with Anna.
It's because she struck you, isn't it?
Where are we going?
To see my friends. And don't worry, they'll be able to fix this.
How do you know?
Because I've seen them do it before.
In a remarkable coincidence, Kristoff was actually a witness to the trolls healing Anna at the beginning of the movie.
Cuties, I'm gonna keep you.
She meant that literally. The trolls adopted him. As such, their collective personality type is embarrassing in-laws.
He's brought a girl! Yes, she'll do nicely for our Crystal.
Wait.
No.
No.
You've got the wrong idea.
Which leads into this.
But you'll never meet a fellow who's as sensitive and sweet.
That's nice, but...
So he's a bit of a fixer-upper, so he's got a few flaws.
Look, this song is not innately terrible. It's just my least favorite. But I do think it is used inappropriately. Kristoff came to get help for Anna, but they can't explain that because the trolls are interrupting before anyone can get a word in.
Can we please just stop talking about this? We've got a real, actual problem here.
I'll say. So tell me, dear, is it the way that he runs scared, or that he's socially impaired?
And what purpose does the interruption serve? Shipping Kristoff and Anna. And based on their interactions, I don't think the movie was even trying to do that until just this moment. Speaking practically, I know that skipping this song would only buy a few minutes' time and wouldn't make much difference long term. But from a filmmaking standpoint, when something like this is distracting from a true emergency...
You're getting married.
Anna! She's as cold as ice.
Then it starts to feel less charming and whimsical and just more like a waste of time.
If not removed to solid ice, will you freeze forever? Only an act of true love can thaw a frozen heart.
Meanwhile, as if Elsa isn't troubled enough...
Don't feel. Don't feel.
A bunch of men led by Hans show up to her castle, 2 of them with sinister intentions.
Should you encounter the Queen, you are to put an end to this winter.
Queen Elsa! Don't be the monsters they fear you are!
Kristoff gets Anna back to Arendelle, where she's then brought to Hans.
Hans, you have to kiss me.
What?
Now!
Oh,
now!
Slow down.
We'll give you two some privacy.
She froze my heart, and only an act of true love can save me.
A true love's kiss.
And let me guess, it doesn't work because little does Anna know, Kristoff is her true love.
Oh, Anna. If only there was someone out there who loved you.
I'm sorry, what?
As 13th in line, in my own kingdom, I'd have to marry into the throne somewhere. You were so desperate for love, you were willing to marry me just like that.
Look at Mr. Sleeper Agent Antagonist over here.
This twist was perfectly concealed. Up till now, Hans displayed concern for the citizens of Arendelle.
Does anyone need a cloak? The castle is open. There is soup and hot glog in the Great Hall.
And a good moral center.
Be on guard, but no harm is to come to the Queen.
But all the while, he was plotting to steal the kingdom and played every move without showing his cards until this moment.
Actually, it might have been too shocking.
It came without any sort of warning. It's so far out of nowhere, someone theorized that this lyric,
her quote engagement is a flex arrangement,
translates literally to the trolls turned Hans evil so Kristoff and Anna could be together.
I don't believe it's true, but it would have been a little less out of nowhere than what we got.
Now Hans can use the new situation to his advantage.
At least we got to say our marriage vows before she died in my arms. I charged Queen Elsa of Arendelle with treason and sentenced her to death.
That is some perfect 10 villainy.
You won't get away with this.
I already have.
Overconfidence penalty, 1 point deduction.
Elsa's escape sets off another blizzard. That and the wise counsel of Sven.
She's with her true love.
Send Kristoff rushing back to Arendelle. Meanwhile, Olaf breaks in to help Anna.
What happened to your kiss?
I don't even know what love is.
Love is putting someone else's needs before yours, like, you know, how Kristoff brought you back here to Hans and left you forever.
Kristoff loves me?
That seems weird, right? Especially when you consider...
You mean to tell me you got engaged to someone you just met that day?
Granted, there are usually several steps between falling in love and engagement. But this movie, this character specifically called out the moving too fast trope. And now them doing that just feels ironic.
Olaf shepherds Anna through the blizzard while Hans confronts Elsa.
I tried to save her, but it was too late. Your sister is dead. Because of you.
No.
The scary part is that if Anna hadn't gotten free, this would technically be the truth.
You don't have to cover your tracks if you don't leave any. Man, Hans, you are a really smart two-faced vile prick.
Now the bait.
Kristoff.
Anna.
And switch.
Elsa.
There are 3 things I really like about this plot point.
First,
I love you.
An act of true love will thaw a frozen heart.
For once, familial love broke the spell instead of romantic love. Second,
You sacrificed yourself for me?
an act of sacrifice feels like a more powerful expression of love than a kiss. Kisses are cute, but they're overused, especially true love's kiss. Lastly, the spell on Anna was broken by her actions instead of someone else's.
Off the top of my head, I don't remember this happening in any story quite like it does here.
This new revelation,
Love will thaw.
allows Elsa to undo her winter and Anna confronts Hans.
But she froze your heart.
The only frozen heart around here is yours.
Very dignified burn, Your Highness. But you gotta admit, that was infinitely more satisfying.
For his efforts against Elsa, the Duke of Wesselton also pays the price.
Arendelle will henceforth and forever no longer do business of any sort with Weaseltown.
I think you can kiss your trade franchise goodbye.
The film ends by promising that this ship is setting sail.
I could kiss you.
I could. I mean, I'd like to. May I? May we? Wait, what? And Elsa turning the courtyard into an ice rink. Oh, and despite going off a cliff earlier, Marshmallow is alive and well after the credits.
Ain't that cute? So that was Frozen. In the 21st century, trends come and go so quickly you can miss them if you blink. Frozen is one of those that managed to really stick around for a while, and there are a few good reasons why.
Its story challenges and deviates from a few popular Disney fairy tale tropes. That and its twists made it very exciting just to watch the story unfold. The characters and their dialogue are fun, with a lot of personality traits, quirks, and gags making the moment-to-moment experience really entertaining. While the story occasionally lacks in logic, the performances of the voice cast do a lot to bolster the core emotional experience. And the songs are infectiously catchy, not to mention they serve the story's needs very well.
Or at least they do most of the time. Which leads me to this film's downsides.
The pacing of the songs within the story is odd. 5 are crammed into the first 35 minutes, and the very last song we hear is Fixer Upper. Enough said. There are also several minor elements to a number of plot points that are easy to passively accept in the heat of the moment. But re-examining the story, I can't help but wonder if there would have been a better way to execute some of these events. For instance, instead of Fixer Upper, make the troll song about Elsa's powers. Not only would this information be very prudent for what's happening at that point in the story, but the audience would get to learn at least a little bit more about this magic without waiting 6 years for a sequel.
Furthermore, anybody else remember that this movie is technically based on The Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen?
Obviously, Disney movies based on fairy tales have taken massive creative liberties, but they usually share enough in common with their source material to be recognizable as that story. I'm not familiar with the original story, so I spoke to friends who are. According to them, Frozen just doesn't feel like it can qualify as a version of The Snow Queen. That doesn't inherently mean that what we got is a bad story, it just means it was a poor adaptation. Putting aside what could have been done differently and looking at Frozen for what it is, there are many reasonable criticisms to make against it.
In fact, a couple of my friends intensely despise it.
But what this film got right, it nailed. And I think that, the impact it had, and how strongly it connected with audiences shouldn't be disregarded.
And make no mistake, neither should its plot holes.
Who's running Arendelle in the 3 years between the king and queen dying and Elsa being crowned? Given the staff reduction to keep Elsa's secret, probably just the advisors, cabinet members, and other personnel that the king and queen trusted absolutely. That would have to be the case given that Elsa and Anna weren't assassinated. How did everybody so easily forgive Elsa at the end? The winter thing was stressful, but it ended after just one day. As for the supposed treason, Hans's lies caught up with him when he tried claiming he married Anna shortly before she died. Obviously, when she turned up not dead, the rest was bound to fall apart. Which begs the question, why didn't Hans kill Anna himself just to be sure that she died? He counted on Anna freezing to death and being unable to interfere. A just-in-case move, like stabbing her, would have left a wound, which would have been suspicious. In theory, he could have tricked her into drinking something poisonous by saying it was medicine, but his specialty was using the existing circumstances to his advantage. For his facade to work effectively, Hans had to do as little direct manipulation as possible.
How do you feel about time paradox plot holes?
Reindeers are better than people. Sven, don't you think that's true?
Yeah, people will beat you and curse you and cheat you. Every one of them's bad, except you.
Oh, thanks, buddy.